Today, I heard some news about Louis Farrakhan and Alex Jones and a few other people being banned from Facebook and Instagram. And I want to know what you think about that. Uh, I kind of feel it's a travesty because Americans are supposed to have freedom of speech. Now, I haven't heard any of these men or women say kill somebody. I've heard them speak out against certain things like conspiracies, and Farrakhan has been labeled as talk about Jews, and Alex Jones is a conspiracy man, and there's a few other people. One I think was a right-wing white supremacist, but I haven't heard myself either of these people say kill someone or blow up the government. What I'm trying to get at, I guess, is this. Do we have freedoms in this country? Do we live up to the mantle of freedom and justice and equality for all? Or are these just cliches thrown out there as caution against the wind to make people in America and other people abroad think that America's this great place and you can say and do what you want to do? I don't feel that America is what we say we are. I'm not saying go out here and just trash talk and, just go naked and do what you want to do in the streets. There's a place and time for everything. But what I'm saying is that mere speech now is considered hate. And also it's considered a security risk. Well, I have to disagree because I tell you right now, I hear more talk on Washington, in the halls of Washington, in the government, parliaments, that is more atrocious and against human beings than I ever hear on the streets of America. But nobody says anything about that. President Trump is very outlandish in his speech, the way he talks about certain people. What he calls women, they call Omarosa a dog. I don't see anything moral about that. But it seems in America that there's a set of rules for one set of people and a set of rules for others. If you look at the law enforcement agencies, they can drive as fast as they want to drive, and they can talk on the phone in the courthouse when it's a rule that you're not supposed to have any cell phones in use in a court of law. So it seems to me that those that enforce the law don't abide by the law, but they want everybody else to abide by it. It's really sad because this country has a lot of promise. A lot of people look up to the United States of America. But the sad thing is that more and more people are becoming disenchanted with the country because of the legislation. Smoking now is in danger. Smoking is a danger. Not because of health reasons. It's a danger. If you smoke a cigarette, you may be ostracized or fined for doing so. I live in an apartment complex that as of May the 1st, all tenants and visitors are prohibited. I say prohibited unequivocally from smoking. You can't smoke inside of the dwelling, and you can't smoke around the dwelling. You have to go way across the street to smoke a cigarette. America, our rights are being vanished. They've been taken away. But the big question is, did we ever have rights as Americans? And if we had rights, what happened? Why did we lose them? And how did we lose them? When did the American people become slaves to their own system? When? And what brought about this change? That's what I want to know. And that's what a lot of people would like to know. When did we lose the criteria of freedom and justice and equality for all? And whereas today it's freedom, justice, and equality for some. We live in a society where you can be penalized for just passing around a meme. I was knocked off Facebook, not because I have multiple accounts. I was knocked off because I have some haters up there that wanted to destroy me. Not only that, Facebook couldn't take what I was talking about. I don't know. I never considered myself to be a threat to anyone. I just like to communicate and post and talk about things that matter in the society in which we live, and try to come to a conclusion together as Americans to see how we can go beyond this mess that we're in, this storm of racism and discrimination and homophobia, male chauvinism. How can we go get away from this? Because it's tearing us apart. We got to get away from it, or else we're not going to survive 50 more years from now. I'm certain. But it seems to be there are more important things that we need to listen to. I mean, it's all right for someone to say, I'm going to kill a baby, or rape a baby, or beat a woman, or kill somebody. That's okay. But when you want to help somebody and when you want to be yourself, there's something wrong with that. I am really ashamed of my country and my countrymen and women. Not because they are guilty of treason. It's the insolent behavior that is the shame. Nobody seems to get it. Nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to even want to make an effort to therefore try to make this place better. You don't need guns. You don't need knives. You don't need rockets. You don't need profanity to do it either. You need communications and dedications and cooperation. And these are the very things that is the scariest to the establishment. To be dedicated, to cooperate and communicate. Don't want that. You're barking up the wrong tree whenever you're asking for people to come together in a peaceful demonstration and how they can solve these problems that we've been dealing with for ages. There's got to be a divide. We have to have men against women. We got to have so-called black and so-called white. We got to have the east versus the west, the north versus the south, and vice versa. There's always got to be a verse this, verse that. And we never solve anything because it's a verse that keeps us divided. And some of the biggest verses I know of is Bible verses. Bible verses and also ideological verses that come from political extremists who wants nothing more than the masses to stay dumbed down and never come around in thought and in communication of emotions. What I mean by communication of emotion, coming together as human beings and accepting each other as human beings. I feel what you feel. You feel what I feel. I understand what you're going through. You understand what I'm going through. Those kind of things matter. But the sad thing is, we've been taught for so long that they don't matter and they are in the way, and it's a hopeless case. So don't think about going for that cause because it's hopeless. The only thing that's hopeless I see is we continue to do the same thing we've been doing, which is nothing except causing each other problems by going at each other like wild beasts. And at the end of the day, we're going to kill off one another. And the real culprits is going to be standing, laughing all the way to the bank. Thank you.